Good evening, everyone. Today, I will be talking about Donald Trump and his tariff plans. Now it's going to affect India. So, Donald Trump's return to the White House may usher in drastic changes in the international trade policies, especially with regard to tariff. We can also see fear and uncertainties looming around the investors, leading to a stock market crash. So, Trump's last administration was protectionist in nature, with a bias towards domestic industries at the expense of international free trades. If such policies are revived, India's economy may have to face challenges, but there will be opportunities as well. Since the US is India's biggest trade partners, changes in tariff will definitely have a direct impact on Indian exports, trade balances, and economic growth. So first of all, we have to understand Trump's trade policies. His policies has continually espoused the concept of America first, that focuses on minimizing trade deficits and boosting in-country manufacturing. His past tariffs have been levied against numerous nations, most notably China. India was also not left behind. Throughout his presidency, Trump he has placed 25% on steel and 10% tariffs on aluminum imports against Indian exporters. He has withdrawn India's Generalized System of Preferences, which is GSP status in 2019, which made 6 billion worth of Indian exports duty-free entry to the United States, and forced India to cut trade barriers and lower import tariffs on American goods such as motorcycles, farm products, and medical equipments. If Trump comes back to power, such trade policies might be reintroduced, posing new challenges to India's trade sector. So, effects on the major sector. First of all, I will be talking about steel and aluminum. India, as we all know, is the largest supplier of steel and aluminum to the America. Trump's earlier tariff harmed India's metal sector negatively in the past, causing less exports and higher local supply, driving prices lower. Reinstating such tariffs, India's steel products such as Tata Steel and JSW Steel can experience economic losses. So the challenge here is higher tariff will lower the competitiveness of Indian steel in the America. But the opportunity here is India can seek alternative markets in the Middle East and Europe. So IT and the service sector. ID industry in India, which is approximately, I guess it's 150 billion in exports annually, heavily relies on American clients. The Trump's H-1B visa policies earlier made it more difficult for Indian professionals and software engineers to find employment in the United States. If Trump somehow repeats the similar policies, then Indian IT giants TCS, Infosys, and Wipro may experience high expenses and operational complexities. So the challenge here is strict visa policies may limit India talent from working in the United States, but it could push India IT further to expand in Europe and the Middle East. So we have to talk about the pharmaceutical industries as well. India, as we all know, is the global largest producer of generic medications, and America is its largest markets. Trump has advocated for lower medication prices and more stringent FDA controls on imports. If such trade restriction goes into the effect, it may harm leading Indian pharma companies such as Sun Pharma and Cipla. So the challenge here is high regulatory requirements and scrutiny, but the opportunity is enhancing pharmaceutical trade with Europeans and African countries. So we have to talk about textile and apparel exports as well. The textile sector is another significant industry which might get impacted. India is one of the largest markets for American garments, but if the tariff like on China are imposed by Trump's, India's competitive will definitely decline. So the challenge here is market share loss to Vietnam, Bangladesh, and Mexico. The opportunity is definitely more domestic manufacturing thrust under India's Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative. So we have to also talk about the macroeconomic effects because it is one of the ones which is going to be affected the most. So the trade deficit and balance of payments. An increase in the US tariff would definitely reduce India's export while keeping high imports of American products like crude oil, defense machinery, and technology. This may increase India's trade deficit with the United States and reduce the value of the rupee. So the challenge here is a weaker rupee may drive up inflation in import prices. But India can turn to diversifying its trade partners and boosting domestic productions. And also, if the monetary policies are implemented, we can also take advantage of the weaker rupee and make our exports even higher. We have to talk about FDI as well. If Trump provokes a trade war with China, US companies can try to shift their supply chains. India has the potential to gain from the shift. Apple, Tesla, and Google are already beginning to increase their presence in India. So the challenge here is that India needs to enhance infrastructure and business ease to leverage this shift. Opportunities definitely increase manufacturing investments, can enhance job creation. So, what are the geopolitical implications? So, Trump has traditionally regarded India as a strategic partner in balancing China. If he comes back to power, there might be greater defense and trade cooperation with greater arms sales and military partnerships. The challenge here is India might need to fall in line with the US foreign policies, as we can see that the central government is doing something about the policies and tariffs, which can cause problems in its relations with Russia and Iran. But the opportunity is definitely a closer US India relationship. Oil prices and inflation. So, Trump's Iran and OPEC policies can indirectly impact the economy of India. Also, the direct tax of 25% if we are dealing with the Venezuela. If he increases sanction against Iran, India can lose Iran's cheap oil and may have to pay more for fuels and prices can increase. The challenge is industrial growth can be slowed down due to increased energy prices, and the opportunity is definitely India can hasten its shift towards renewable energies. As we all know that there's a growth of renewable energy in our country. So the overall conclusion is that navigating the challenges and opportunities is what India will have to do. So the Trump's possible returns to power and his policies of tariffs would have both negative and positive effects on India. Major sectors such as steel, IT, and textile might be hit by a higher trade barriers. India also stand to gain in terms of attractive international investments in light of the trade tensions between the US and the China. The government needs to get ready for these challenges by diversifying trade partners, enhancing domestic manufacturing, and clinching advantageous trade agreements with the United States. Overall, it's all about what kind of policies you make and how you navigate with the negotiation and geopolitical tension that is going on around you. India becomes a global potential economic leader. Embracing protectionist trade practices will be essential for future growth and resilience. Thank you very much.